This is the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report. Show number 411 for Thursday, January 22nd. Scott Hammer, Ron Miller, coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch from the Dominator Race Products studio. Tonight on the show, we're going to be remembering Sandusky Speedway. Sharing some memories about it. You got a few.
A lot of fond memories.
A lot of fond memories for you.
Yeah, going back, wow.
Well, you're a member of the Hall of Fame, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
That's what I thought.
Yes, sir.
So, we talking to...
Probably had nothing to do with some of my earlier forays to the Speedway, but they were memorable, too.
Do you have other forays other than the hangover race?
Oh,
there?
yes, sir.
Oh, I'd be interested to learn about this.
And you will before the night is
All
over.
right, I'm looking forward to it. Kevin Jaycox, Doug Dock standing by. We'll be talking with them shortly as well. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to learning more about Sandusky. My only time at Sandusky has been the hangover race and that one race we had against the dirt trucks there that one year. So that's coming up a little bit later. If you would like to enter to win a Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker, or just sticker, I guess you can go on your window. Could be
or on the side of your race car.
Hashtag DCR. Put that in the comments of the Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or Twitch. We'll do the drawing at the end of the show. That's courtesy of DCR Graphics. You can also get these guys for $5 from DCR. Slap one on your car if you got one. Send us a picture of it, and you can be part of the Hammer Down Army. We are now taking enlistments for this year. Peyton Hovis just enlisted this week.
Oh, right.
Re-enlisted, I should say. He's back with us again. And we'll report on his finishing positions week after week as long as they're submitted for all of our Hammer Down Army racers this year. Last week's Speedy Sponsor question of the week to win a Speedy Sponsor sticker was, what state is Riverside International Speedway located? That answer can be found at speedysponsors.com.
Are we going to have the same question this week?
No, I got a new one this week.
Okay.
No one got the correct answer, so...
well, that's why I wondered if we were going to use the same question.
Arkansas was the correct answer.
Arkansas, yeah.
Arkansas, yes. That's what it looks like. That was the correct answer for that. So if you want a chance to win a sticker for next week, here's your question. It is, what is one of the sponsors of the Great Lakes Super Sprints that are listed on SpeedySponsors.com? Has to be listed on SpeedySponsors.com.
Okay.
So go to SpeedySponsors.com, find that answer. It's pretty easy to do, and then just click the win button on the bottom of the page, a little link that says win. You type in your name, type in your answer, hit submit, you're good.
And that's for the GLSS, Great Lakes
Super Sprints, yep.
Just any one of the sponsors?
Any one of them.
Okay.
Any one of the one that is on there.
Okay.
There could be more added during the week.
Yeah.
It's a fluid situation. Things change. So we'll do that drawing next week from all of the correct answers. And we did have an X poll, formerly Twitter, last week about the ideal end time for local racing programs.
Right.
Because of the BAPS Speedway having that 9 o'clock end time guarantee for one of their shows in July next year.
I think that was a gimmick, but okay.
I had 3 or 4 options. I had 9, 10. I don't remember what options. I think I had 9, 10, 11, or later.
Okay.
And it was a 50-50 split. 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock.
Really?
Were the two favorable times.
I really would have figured 10 o'clock would have.
I would have thought
would have dominated.
Not so. So there you go. Whether it's late model modified or street stock, every body part counts. That's why you should choose Dominator Race Products, the go-to source for hood scoops, roofs, wheel covers, nose and tail components, body fasteners, and more. All engineered tough for the track. Order online anytime at Dominator Race Products or visit your local reputable race shops, such as Ron Miller Race Cars.
Right.
You can call Dominator directly, 419-923-6970 for quality parts that keep you dominating the racing field. Trust Dominator Race Products. I guess they had a shipping issue for direct orders with FedEx. They got that cleared up now.
Okay.
That was last week, so that's all good there. And some of the super stocks at Oakshade, the rules opened up there with the spoilers now. So
right, that's pretty interesting.
They do have the spoilers there you can get.
And it appears by reading the rules that rear bumper covers are going to be necessary.
I believe they were before.
There were some cars that had just a filler panel back there.
I don't believe the rules were enforced that much
at
that time, but I believe that rule was there.
Okay.
Oakshade
and we'll never know.
Speaking of Oakshade Raceway, they're already gearing up for the 2026 race season with several dates already on the schedule. Highlights include the Barney Oldfield race featuring the American Late Model Ironman Series, along with the always popular birthday race. Stay up to date on race dates, news, and announcements by visiting oakshaderaceway.com and following Oakshade Raceway on social media. Oakshade Raceway, we're the fastest meet to race, and of course the new updated Superstock rules are on the site now, posted just a little under a week ago now.
And appear to have changed a little bit since just last week.
I don't think so.
With that,
hood
bubble rule.
Well, the hood bubble rule wasn't in there. I was looking for it. I thought we talked about it, but it wasn't actually in the rules because there's no rule, I believe.
It was in the preview that I saw. Okay.
Yeah. So pretty much that rule has been opened up because there is no rule about it.
Just like the hood.
Yes. Also have to mention Romular Race Cars, Magic Moment Entertainment, Dittman Motorsports, and DCR Graphics, sponsors of the program. Tonight we'll do a quick racing roundup before we get to our guests and focus on Sandusky Speedway. Let's talk about what went on this past weekend.
Racing roundup.
And leading up to it, I suppose. The Wild West Shootout, Central Arizona Raceway. Friday night's winner, Hudson O'Neill. Garrett Alberson won on Saturday. Ken Schrader got a win in the X-Mod class on Saturday night. It was pretty cool to see that. And then Sunday, Bobby Pierce getting the win. Hudson O'Neill winning the Wild West Shootout Championship. And there was a little bit of ruffled feathers there between Mr. Turbo, Tyler Erb, and Jonathan Davenport on Sunday.
I saw that the Turbo had a problem getting to his pit.
Yeah. Yes, and they both talked it out, and I guess everything was fine. And then Jonathan Davenport started.
No punches were thrown that I saw.
At the back of that thing, I think 23rd or something, and finished like 3rd. I saw him go by Turbo. I'm sure everybody was like, what's going to happen when he catches Turbo? He just passed him, and that was it. So, yeah. 40th Chili Bowl Nationals at the SageNet Expo wrapped up this weekend. Last Thursday, Christopher Bell getting the feature win on one of the prelim nights. Caleb Henry in action that night as well. He finished 18th in the A main. On Friday, your winner was Logan Seavey. Saturday, we got a whole bunch of results here. Scattered
You're going to start with the Q main?
Oh, we're going to start with the A main winner, of course. Okay. Emerson Axum winning that. Cap Henry won his F main, finished 20th in his E main. Caleb Henry finished 19th in his D main. Nick Hoffman finished 2nd in his C main and 17th in the B main. Darren Nida won his O main and transferred through 8 more features to the G main, transferring to the F main by 1 spot. He set a Chili Bowl record for the most features ever.
Pretty interesting.
That's pretty interesting. That's a lot of racing, though. He got to race more than anybody else that day.
Got his money's worth.
A few races down in Australia this past weekend. The Western Australia Junior Sedan title. Friday night, Trent Claybook getting the win in the street stocks. Saturday it was Lawson Clark in the Junior Sedans. Bunbury Speedway on Saturday. We had LS Sprint Car state title going on there. Cody Nash getting the win in the 360 LS Sprint Cars. Warren Oldfield, your late model winner. That was the Alan Blake Classic.
Did you find any of the rundown from all of the old fields? I think they had...
Was Barney in there?
No, but I think they had 3 out of the top 4 were old fields.
No, I did not get the full rundown. Wow. And Joel Watson, winner in the speed car class there at Bunbury on Saturday. Premier Speedway in action on Sunday. The International Sprint Car Carnival, Cole Macedo getting the win in the sprint cars. Hugo Chevelle getting the win in the Junior Formula 500s. And that is your racing roundup for this past weekend. A lot more going on this weekend. It's almost like race season's starting.
Yeah, darn near.
If you're looking for a wedding or event DJ you can trust, Magic Moment Entertainment has you covered with decades of experience. Ron Burt delivers smooth planning, professional grade sound, and lighting. I might use that in your read. Decades of experience. Instead of 200 years of experience.
We'll just say decades.
Okay. Centuries of experience. Now, where was I? Ron Burt delivers smooth planning, professional grade sound and lighting, and an unforgettable experience for your big day. Mention the Hammer Down Racing Report. You'll save $100 off your reception DJ service. There are no hidden fees, no mileage charges, no lighting fees, and full liability coverage is always included. Serving Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and Kentucky, Magic Moment Entertainment is ready to make your event truly magical. Call 419-594-2261 or find them on Facebook under Magic Moment Entertainment or Ohio Sports Blitz. And do you need car parts, repairs, or a full-on build? Whether it's a race car, a classic cruiser, or just a broken bolt that won't budge, Ron Miller Race Cars in Lambertville, Michigan has the tools, talent, and experience to get you back on track. Over 200 years of experience.
Nearly 200 years.
Possibly 500. Nobody's really counting. Give or take a few. Ron's crew can handle it all. Bodywork, transmission, chassis repair, custom build, safety gear, and performance parts. Get... I still forgot to take out your gift certificate thing for Christmas. You can still get gift certificates for races. They have birthdays, so
and
racers have
Valentine's Day is coming up. Nothing says I love you better than race car parts.
There you go. Gift certificates at Ron Miller Race Cars. Give Ron a call 734-856-7223 and see why racers and car lovers alike trust Ron Miller Race Cars, driven by experience, built for performance. And I forgot to play this at the beginning of the show. Since we're doing Sandusky Speedway this week, before we get to...
okay, well, consider this to be the intro to the show then.
There you go. And Doug Dock and Kevin Jaycox will be with us as well just after this. So
pretty cool.
Here we go.
First off, like guys, all my shows I go on, I want to thank the veterans out there. Without you guys, we couldn't do shows like this. Military serving overseas and homeland. All our first responders, police, fire, EMS, doctors, nurses, tow truck drivers. How you guys doing tonight?
There you go. The immortal Chris Mize.
Great friend.
Yes. Unfortunately, no longer with us, but lots of years of experience with him and of course, these two guys as well. Welcome to the show, Mr. Doug Dock, Kevin Jaycox. How are you guys doing?
Wild and wonderful.
Great. How are you guys?
Good. Now it's been what? I guess the deal closed. Is everything behind you as far as the sale of Sandusky Speedway?
Yeah, it's all over.
Even the rumors.
Wait, what are the rumors?
Are all alive, but those are so alive.
He went away as a millionaire and all kinds of good things.
I was a millionaire for about 17 seconds.
Well,
then reality struck.
Right.
Well, I guess take us through. I mean, you've had some time to kind of reflect on it. I had talked to Doug about possibly doing a kind of a show like this, talking about your memories of Sandusky Speedway back, what was that, October, November? But things were still kind of fresh there, and we decided to kind of push it off, wait until things had, the dust could settle, I guess, so to speak. And now that that's happened, how are you guys? I guess this is more for Kevin. How are you feeling as far as things go? Do you feel like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders now?
That's pretty much a huge understatement, but yeah, it's different. It's easy. Like I told Doug, right now it's easy to say, oh yeah, we don't miss it because we would have been closed anyways. It's winter. But I started, the week of the hangover race was a little tough for me, knowing that it wasn't going to happen. But yeah, we had a really bad, 5 years, the last 5 years. We made some strides that improved us last year. Didn't help any, but it was probably better than a couple of years. But, it's just age, you know what I mean? It was, I can't do a lot of it by myself. Doug does a lot of it from home for me, doing a lot of business stuff. But it just got rough, and it's hard to hire anybody, especially find people that are going to want to give up 22 weekends a year. In my case, it's, Saturday and Sunday because we had go-karts on Sunday. But it just got harder to do, and the place needed work, and we just couldn't make enough money to fix the stuff that needed to be fixed. And we tried, we lasted 24 years. I'm pretty proud of that. That's longer than anybody else has there. And I walked out of there. I don't know one driver any money. Not a lot of people can say that lately that have closed, it seems like. But I feel good about the last year we went out. But I owe a lot to, my realtor, Rhonda Jedrzak, and Karen Rose from Rose Auctions. They really did a great job of helping me get rid of this place quickly. But I can tell you, it's I wake up every morning going to work, and I still have my job, and I'm on call 24/7, so it makes it a lot better. But I like not waking up trying to figure out how I'm going to pay an $8,000 a month payment. So that's 12 months a year. So miss the people. I like the hangover race is one of my. It might not be my favorite event to be outside, but it was definitely my favorite event of having the drivers that we had there. I mean, they were loyal, great guys. Nobody took it overly serious. But it was just a great bunch of guys that just wanted to race.
Nobody took it overly serious
Except
until the green flag fell.
Yeah. But they were all still professional. They put on great shows, and they were professional the whole time. And, hangover races, it's a tough deal because if it rained, you're guaranteed to lose money. But if it snows, especially the more it's going to snow, you're pretty much guaranteed to make a lot of money. But it was just never any consistency. Everybody's like, I bet you'll be happy if it's 70 degrees and sunny now, because half the people are going to stay home and do something else. But when it snows, everybody wants to see it.
Let's go ahead, Doug.
Since you're talking about hangover, 2018 was the first year that it was ever postponed, and it was postponed 3 different times, and it ended up getting run on January 20th. So, and of course we got beat up because we run in any weather, but couldn't do it.
Oh, you've got to pay attention.
That was the cold, right?
Yeah, it was bitter cold.
-30.
So this weekend coming up, if the hangover race was scheduled, it probably would be postponed, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Larry even canceled his race indoors, and I'm 100% agreement with him. I mean, what's the temperature's going to be? Even in a hog barn, it's going to be 30 degrees, so I don't blame him for canceling.
Give us I guess both of you guys, give us your background as far as, Kevin, you were the owner of the track. I'm sure you wore a bunch of different hats during your tenure there. Tell us a little bit about everything that you've kind of been in charge of, and Doug, what your role has been there at the Speedway as well.
I've done pretty much every job there was to do there except announce, and that's how Doug ended up with being the announcer, is because we didn't have an announcer one night, and I said I was going to do it, and I kind of got up to the announcer's booth and I said, I'm not doing this. So I called Doug on the radio. I said, hey bud, can you announce? He goes, I might be able to. I said, all right, congratulations, you're the new announcer. But when I got into this 24 years ago, it was actually through Don Arnold, who was the track owner. And Don leased it out to somebody, and they went belly up really quickly. Don called me up and said, hey, I need you to do me a favor. And I said, what? And he goes, I want you to run the racetrack. I said, oh, work for you? And he said, no, I want you to lease it. And I said, absolutely not. No interest in this at all. And so I called my late wife, Bev. I called Bev up, and I told her, I said, hey, you ain't going to believe this, what Don said. And she goes, well, why would you say no? And she was mad at me. I was like, because I got some brains, and we don't need to be involved in this. And so I came home from work, and she was being too nice, so I knew something was up. And she said, I want to do this. And I said, all right, let's do it. So quit my job and worked out a deal with Don and Cheryl. And they're a big reason why we are what we are, but or where we were. I went into the deal with no money, and I left with no money. So, but I also left with no debt. So that's another huge thing. So, but yeah, I don't think there's anything there I haven't done other than announce. And Doug's done a lot of stuff there, including flag and all kinds of stuff that I begged him and talked him into, or he might not even know he was going to do it until I handed him a flag. But Doug's been a great friend, and we met there. I actually, it was the first time Doug worked there for one of our tow companies, and didn't really know Doug too well. And showed up one day, we talked about a bunch of stuff, and we're brothers. We've been like that ever since. And but one of the things in 24 years that happened to me is great is being friends with people I'm friends with, and Doug's probably real at the top of that list.
Okay. And Doug, I guess before you became the announcer, what were you prior to that?
So this guy asked me, I did Kevin's job. Kevin took over my job when I left Rensenberger, and we had our vehicles maintenance at this guy's shop, and he had tow trucks. He said, "Hey, would you like to go over to the track with me? We're going to tow for the track." And I said, "I hate racing."
What?
That's what I said. And
did you mean it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he said, "Well, come on over. You might like it." So we got into the infield. It's a whole different experience in the infield. So he pointed out Kevin about 3 months into this. He said, "That's the owner right there." And I said, "That guy? What a dick." Because I heard him on the radio all the time. And so then we became friends. Actually, it was over 2000. When was that? When the recession, 2008, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds right.
So we were trying to make some cuts, and he come to me and he said, "Hey, what's your idea? You're in business. What do you think?" So we worked through that, and then one day he come down and he goes, "Hey, I need you to announce. Can you announce?" And I said, "No." He goes, "All you got to know is that's turn 1, 2, 3, and 4, and just call them car numbers. 57 and turn 1." I went, "Are you kidding me?" So I moved up to announcing, and then just everything then that he could pal on me, he did. So
So you went from the tow truck to up in the booth.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
I want to say for 10 of those years, Doug and I went to dinner every night.
Yeah.
And my wife for every day. I'm not like talking like 2 times a week. I'm talking like every day.
And we'd go to Menards.
Yep. Which is a whole different story.
Yeah. Some stories we can say, right, and some we can't.
All I can say is we went to Menards to buy. My wife wanted to buy a mattress. Doug
and you took Doug with you?
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay. And there's a good reason for it. Okay. He'll explain it.
Okay.
So Doug threw my mother on the bed and started doing inappropriate stuff in the middle of Menards. So we've been kicked out of a lot of places.
Doug seems so reserved. I can't. It's hard to picture that.
No idea.
You have to know if the mattress is going to be right for you or not. So that's how we figured it out.
We were thrown out of an adult store once because Doug was chasing my wife around with something. But we've been we've had a good time, but we're not allowed in a lot of places.
Right.
Yeah. I have a lot more questions. I don't even want to go down that avenue, but let's go back to Sandusky Speedway. What is each of your very first memory of Sandusky Speedway? Doug, I'm assuming when you pulled in there to when you hated racing. Truck. Yeah. And then meeting Kevin was another fine memory. Okay. What did you have any dealings with Sandusky Speedway or go there before you took ownership there, Kevin?
Oh yeah, I owned Denny Fisher and Timmy Jedrzak, who I'm sure you guys know, heard of his son. They both raced super modifieds for me, and that's kind of how I got into this racing deal. My dad was a race fan. We went to races a lot, but I had we had 2 supers and we had them drive. And at that time, I became vice president of ISMA, which you guys obviously, I'm sure know.
Sure.
And then I started the Midwest Super Modified Association, and then I went to work for Don, and everything kind of took off from there. I bought the main event series, Super Late Model Series, ran that for 3 years, and sold it for honestly pretty good amount of money. And then we also owned a Buckeye Super Sprint Series. At one time, we owned 5 series as a racetrack. and another business, our graphic sign shop. So we had a lot going on, and that's how we stayed open. When we took over Sandusky, it wasn't making money. And we did good the first probably 5 or 6 years. Then we did okay, and then for another 5 years, and then okay went to not so good, and then not so good went to really bad. But I don't regret one thing. A lot of great people I've met. Ron's one of them. Through all this. I love where I'm at right now.
I wear that badge proudly. Thank you.
And soon, I'm gonna miss it. I'm definitely gonna miss it, and it's gonna start probably April 1st is when you're gonna start hitting home.
What are some of the biggest races that you guys have seen at the track? I know, Doug, you've only been there the last 24 years, but there's got to be some big events that stand out to you guys.
Well, one of them, which after the race, I stayed in the tower because I did not want to come down. He had this great idea that we would run main event, super lates, and super modifieds together. And that was set during a cavalcade.
No, it was actually that was in the month of May. No, we did.
Yeah, when we're making a lot of money there.
But we did good.
Uh-huh.
First year we didn't, but the second and third year we did okay. But I agree with you. That was a hell of an event, though.
Well, I'll bet it was.
Yeah.
So why'd you stay in the tower then? Were you scared to come out?
Yeah, because I looked at the stands and I looked at the parking lot, and I'm like, this isn't going to be good. This isn't going to be good.
Yeah, he was like, this son of a bitch is going to ask me for money.
Right.
Okay. What about you, Kevin? What would you say are some of the biggest races you've had there?
To me, the greatest show on asphalt racing is the High Miler Super Modified Nationals. I think it's always been that. There's a couple of them that stuck out. Russ Wood running the Consi or the B main and then winning the feature, the A main. But I mean, there's just so many. Timmy J's 2 High Miler wins. Obviously, that means a lot to me because Timmy's friend, we're a really good friend. But there's also, Mark Samet winning High Miler, who nobody expected that was going to win. That was a huge deal. Also had my main event shows there were really good. We averaged probably 30 models on one of those big events at the end of the year. And we did real well. Probably one of the biggest shows that I ever hosted was the cavalcade. Was the main event where we paid $10,000 to win. But we also had modifieds I think modifieds were $10,000 to win also.
Wow. And
then we drew a name out of a hat and paid another $10,000. And then we drew another name out of a hat and paid a fan $5,000. And Brian Short, who owned main event car, a couple main event cars, was a big part of that. He sponsored a lot of that money. But it was but the rate we had 42 modifieds and 42 late models and 36 modifieds at that race. And I mean, our pits were all the way halfway through the back parking lot, and we're completely packed. But we paid out a lot of money, but it was a hell of a show, and we actually did good. We actually did good on that. But we also had an ASA show there that was, I think, would have been good, but nobody watched it. I'm trying to think what other good. The year Haas was around, the sprint car deal, we had one of their shows that was real successful. We had a must-see show that was really huge. We had 32 cars but once came. But there's a lot of big shows that I remember. I always liked the shows that made you making an event, that you had to think outside the box, and I like that, and that's why I loved High Miler all the time and cavalcades all the time. But weekly racing's a different kind of deal on asphalt than it is on dirt, and we don't have all these cars that are all over the place to draw from. We have a really select few, and hopefully you could be the strongest and get those.
That was actually I was going to say that till later, but I'll ask you now. With the state of pavement racing, Lorraine, Raceway Park, of course, Sandusky, there's not many asphalt tracks left in the state of Ohio. Is there anything you see that could be done to maybe save pavement racing in Ohio?
I think the biggest disappointing part for if I owned a pavement car would be, with Lorraine closing. Randy was young, and very aggressive promoter. And I think it really had a good shot to survive, but there's just not enough cars. And what could change? The biggest thing the difference between dirt and asphalt is you go to a dirt show, there's 35, 40 sprint cars, whatever. 25 of them are true racers. They crash their car, they're going to be back next week. Asphalt, if you have 15, you have 8 true racers. That guys that are going to crash and they're going to go home, bust their butt, and they'll be back next week. And that's the biggest change I've seen in asphalt over the years is there's not really that group of true racers.
Just the dedication isn't there.
Right. It's just not there. And it's a shame because there's a lot of good asphalt racers, true racers that work their ass off, and if they crash their stuff, they'll total it, they'll be out. But you need that whole group, the guy that's not going to be there every week, you need them all, but you need a lot more of those guys, of the guys that aren't going to be any week. You can't have 7, you need 20. That way you can have 15 to 20 cars a night. And the sad part is asphalt's nowhere near there.
Is
everybody the same night?
I was gonna say, is it kind of a chicken and an egg kind of thing? Is there, if there were more tracks and not maybe in running on different nights, would that be something that you think would grow the car count?
I told Doug I had this great idea, and I said I'm not racing Saturdays no more. I'm racing Sundays only. No overhead when it comes to lights and stuff like that. We're just gonna go. We're gonna go the Sundays. No competition. And Doug goes, this is a good idea. So we did it, and within 4 races, I told Doug, I said we won't make it another week.
Jeez,
it was bad.
Our car count did improve, but we had no fans, none.
Was it just because it's summer and hot and people not?
The issue for us is it was so hot and our stands are steel. So we started out okay and it just dropped quickly.
That's unfortunate. Let's go back to talking about Sandusky Speedway. There's been a lot of big names that have raced out there, and you guys have been bringing in some of the Truck Series drivers the last few years. I remember, I think even before you were involved with the track, you guys were involved old ASA races. I remember seeing some of the old NASCAR guys like Mark Martin.
Oh yeah,
those guys that have raced there. Who are some of the bigger names like that have gone on to success in the higher ranks of racing that you've seen come through there?
So Jeff Gordon won a sprint car race here when he was 13. Obviously he went.
I think he's won a sprint car race all over Ohio at every track, just about. But I did not know at Sandusky too.
Yep, Johnny Benson actually won a race at my racetrack after he was out of NASCAR. Dale Earnhardt Sr. Raced that ASA show you're talking about.
Okay.
Bobby Allison raced that same race. Matt Crafton has raced a super late model there. I think Sauter raced there also at some point. Haley Diggin raced. Actually, that was our race a couple of years ago. Ben Rhodes raced also a couple of years ago. Matter of fact, Rich Lucius, Ben's crew chief at the time, was my crew chief, or was my race director last year. But I'm trying to think of who else that has been there.
We had an IndyCar driver too, Davey.
We had Davey Hamilton.
yeah,
he's raced. Wow. He actually won a super modified race there. John Cox raced there. Benson Sr. raced there. Harold Fair, who's one of my favorite people in the world, he raced there.
Junior or senior?
Both. Both. Yep.
They're good customers of mine. I'll have to bounce that off of them.
Yeah, senior was retired from racing when I took over Sandusky. But Junior's a great guy. But there's and they both are great guys. It's great.
Yes.
But there's a lot. I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of people. And I'm sure one of my guys that are listening are probably going to say, "Oh, you're an idiot. You forgot this person." But now that Casey Jetters is a full-time World Outlaw driver, he ran a quarter midget at my racetrack.
Oh, wow.
And he ran a super at High Miler against his dad a couple of years back. So there's a lot of people who Todd Gibson raced Indy, Gary Albritton raced Indy. They've all been champions Tim Richmond won the championship at Sandusky.
Ooh.
That was going to be a big mess. Terry Cook is raced there.
Right.
There's so much history in Sandusky Speedway. I was proud of being an owner. I wish I could have done more of the facility than I could have on what we were making. But I was definitely proud to be there 24 years.
Any plans, or I don't know, maybe this already exists, but of some kind of Sandusky Speedway historical records kind of site or something like that?
Well, what's happening right now, if you go to our website, it's kind of a memorial page. But if you go through it, there's the track history from the day they formulated plans all the way up to the last day that Kevin was there. Then if you go over another tab, it's all the High Miler stuff. And then we still have the track records on there. And what I do want, there's a couple things that are coming. One's a Hall of Fame. There's going to be a Hall of Fame page. I am waiting on Hall of Famers list. And then we're also going to add a page that's going to be like a scrapbook. So if you're on there, you can add something from a newspaper, or you could put your thoughts in there. You could upload pictures or videos. So that page is coming after our banquet next week. I'm going to announce it at the banquet. So
a crowdsourced kind of content.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
We're also going to continue the Hall of Fame deal as we go. Doug and I talked about it. We're going to figure out where to have something, and it might even be in my yard. I don't know, but Doug and I are going to figure a way to get the Hall of Fame going because we think it's important.
And I think we're going to just continue, instead of doing banquets, we're going to do reunions. So it'll be a Sandusky reunion.
Cool. And I know Manchester Speedway up in Michigan kind of does that kind of thing. They get together every August, right. I believe it is. But very cool. And Sandusky Speedway's been, there's a lot of history even before you guys got involved with it, going back to, when was it, the 50s that the track first started?
Okay, 54, I think.
I remember teasing Chris Mize about being 48. Okay, about being there for the first race or something, but
yeah.
Any behind the scenes issues or anything you guys kind of had to work through that the public's never heard about before? Any dirt you got there that we can air out?
Oh boy, that's
a good start.
Major improvements that were done that not one person could see, but me and Doug know what they were, and they were very important for the places to stay open. That cost us a lot of money, and but I probably don't want to go farther into that. But there's a lot of things that I can tell you when we bought the place and we went for the loan. There's some pretty good stories on when they started drilling the property, and I'm looking, Chris Mize and myself and Doug are looking at each other and going, "Oh my God, can you imagine what they're going to tap into when they start drilling?" And they drilled it all, and I'm going, I hope this is good. We had a vent. I know we had a vent for something, and they knocked it over, and it was something that was been there since 1948. And the guy, he goes, "What's this?" I said, "I think that's a light pole." And Doug just started laughing, and the guy didn't believe it, so he drilled right there. But we passed. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" J deal, and I was like, "This is awesome." Probably, if J deal, I probably would have had a lot more money than then. But there's a lot. The biggest thing is Sandusky Speedway has created many marriages, and probably created more divorces. But we, I met both my wives, my late wife who passed away 6 years ago, and I met her at the hangover race. So that was cool. And before I owned a racetrack, and my current wife, I met because of racing at Sandusky Speedway and the Midwest Super Modified Association. So, a lot of good stuff happened, and the people that attended Sandusky Speedway are loyal, and great people. But my wife just reminded me something of why I feel racing, asphalt racing, and even dirt is taking some hits. Is all this stuff on FaceTime,
social media.
Yeah.
And everybody can say, "Oh, it's bringing more fans." It ain't bringing shit. It's destroying racing. And I should have stuck to my guns 10 years ago when I felt this way. And I put signs all over my property. No Facebook Live, no anything, no social media. And I should have stuck to my guns because I think I'd have been better off than I am now. We showed the race on Race America. We showed High Miler on it. All right. I was totally against it, but it made sense. They made us a decent offer. So it made sense. I said, all right, let's do this. Well, guess what? It rained on and off all day Saturday. I had people who camped in the parking lot that bought the app and did not come into the races. We took our profit hit was a 50% loss of every year I've ever had. And it was all because of the showing it on TV. And I get like series like ISMA and the World Outlaws pushing that and stuff like that. So, you got such a huge fan base. But people like us that race ISMA or, Super Modifieds is our big event. The social media deal's killing it. And if people don't wake up to that soon, there won't be any asphalt tracks. You've already lost 3. There's 3 asphalt tracks this year that are closed. And I know 2 of them are trying to get opened with other people, but I'm telling you, I know what the numbers are on a lot of these racetracks. I know what my own numbers are. It doesn't make sense to buy one.
Okay. Doug, you got any dirt that you can share now?
Well, you announced, right?
Oh yeah, I still do. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so imagine this. He calls up like 2 minutes before we're going to go and says, "Hey, don't forget, do a moment of silence for blah, blah, blah's mother." And I go, "What's her name?" I don't know. I'm like, "What do you want me to say?" just say his mother.
I've been there.
So we did that, but the best one was when we did a moment of silence for a guy 3 weeks in a row.
Because the guy never died.
Oh.
Were you guys trying to kill him?
No. Somebody told me that he died, so I hurried up and did what we do. And we're doing a moment of silence, and the lady comes up and yells at me. Because he's just in bad shape. He didn't die. I said, "Oh." Well, next week, person, I said, "Hey, what happened with this?" And he said, "Oh, no, he passed away Tuesday." So we do it again. Same lady comes up and rips me apart.
What are you doing?
I said, "I am not again. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry. This will never happen." Third week, the lady comes up and goes, "Okay, he died. Can you do it now?"
Jeez.
He tells me, and I'm like, "I am not doing this again." He's trying to get me to do it, and I'm like, "I'm not doing it again, Kevin. We've done it twice, and he's not dead." No, he is. So he had to convince me to do that, which I did. But yeah, that was.
There's just so you know, there's a better story than that. So we have a person that races at our racetrack that Doug's not very fond of. So Doug refuses to say his name. It's just car number. So this goes on all year. So I called Doug and I said, "Hey, listen, the kid's parents are here. Say his name today. Let it go." "Nope, not doing it." Dude, his dad's sitting in the stand. "I don't care. I'm not doing it." So I walk all the way up to the tower, which I absolutely hate doing anyways. Walk up to the tower and go, "Doug, I need you to do this." "I ain't doing it. I'll quit." And he never did it for the entire year.
I said, "If you want to do it, here's the mic. You can do it." He's like, I'm not I'm not doing it. I'm like, but you expect me to. I said, no, I'm not doing that. No.
I applaud you for sticking by your laurels there.
Oh, yeah. Got to.
I give him a lot of credit. I'm even qualifying.
Yeah.
Announced all his sponsors and said, and number 90, whatever. And didn't want to give out the number. But it just said the number. He refused to say his name.
So you never said his name ever? Did you never got over it? Or?
No.
No, I never got it.
No, there's a whole underlying story to all that.
Yeah, it was most likely deserved.
Okay. So it was justified that you did not like it.
Yeah.
I was doing it on Kevin's behalf.
Yeah, Doug
Oh.
back to the end. That's a fact.
So what's some of the history behind some of the benchmark events at Sandusky Speedway, such as the Hangover Race, the High Miler? What's
So who really wanted to talk to on that was the person who canceled, because Larry created the High Miler. Larry created the Hangover Race. I'm pretty positive Larry created the Cavalcade. The story I heard about the Hangover Race was created to have money to go to Florida. And I don't know if that's true or not, but that is a rumor that I heard.
I can't imagine that makes money, though. I think you do that for the fun of it, or did that for the fun.
To be honest, I tell you what, the one year, Ron will remember this, I had the police department there at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they come flying back there, and they're asking for me, and I go check. I said, what's wrong? They said, you need to open your gates now. And I'm going, what? And he goes, they're lined up to Burger King. I go, no way. And I tell you what, we raced till like 10 o'clock at night, but we had like 120 cars. I mean, it was unbelievable.
For the Hangover Race?
Yes.
Wow.
That was one of the rare, really nice days.
And we made a ton of money. But you're right. Most of it, we make a little bit, which helped in the winter because you really didn't have overhead other than paying your staff. You have lights and stuff like that. But you're right. Most of it's because of the fun.
Did you win that one? That went late?
No.
I think Bill Hart won that one.
Who did?
I think Wild Bill Hart won that one.
Oh, okay.
The namesake of the event there.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. I'm pretty positive.
So you mentioned
I started the Super Nationals, the High Miler Speed Weeks, which the High Miler Speed Week deal was really taking off. Last year was really a good year. If we wouldn't have had rain Saturday, we would have set a record of what we've ever made in a week. But the Speed Week deal was huge. I mean, go-karts turned into a big deal. We had people traveling out of state just to race go-karts for the first 4 days of the Speed Week. And, Must-See did a hell of a job on Wednesday last year. We way overcrowded that we thought we would do there. Thursday was a home run for us. Friday was a home run. And Saturday we had the day where you make all your money, you lose half of it because of raindrops. But it was Speed Weeks. That's the thing that's going to bother me the most, is because we finally came up with an event that we knew we can make enough money to pay the bills for 2 months. And we worked hard. Doug and I worked hard at that. And Chris also. We worked hard to get that Speed Week deal. It was my dream 14 years ago, and never could get to it. And finally we did. With also my kid was a big help on that, on the go-kart end. So that part I'm going to miss. Super Nationals I've missed ever since I sold the main event, which didn't even last a year and they went out of business. But those events are really huge that I like.
And it was the Sandusky Classic before it became the High Miler.
Nice job.
Did not know that.
Ooh.
What was that?
I said that I'm giving Doug props. That's pretty good.
Did my homework.
So you guys mentioned the Hall of Fame. The Sandusky Speedway Hall of Fame is going to live on in some fashion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ron can still be memorialized.
Yep.
Don't give him a moment of silence yet, though.
Yeah, not quite ready to check out.
Right.
So I guess I only have a couple more questions here, but For each of you, what is your most favorite memory of Sandusky Speedway? Just the one thing that stands out above everything else.
I gotta say the main event race, the year-end race at Cavalcade, where I remember Doug actually took a picture of me and my wife, and it was after driver introductions, and you could tell we were both very happy because it was one of those shows that you just killed it. And I think that was one of my best memories, and probably my best memory because Doug took the picture. And so every time I see that, I remember that we actually killed that event. Also, the main event with the 10,000 to win. And like I said, every high mile special. There's never one that wasn't.
What about you, Doug?
I would have to echo just what he said. Because we did everything together, but probably the biggest takeaway from Sandusky Speedway for me is the friendship and the bonding that we had, and especially with Kevin and Bev. Once she was out of the picture, I wasn't up there that much, and so her and him, and I remember that picture too, and it's like the first time they really hugged. Because normally it wasn't those types of races.
There was one time we were it rained on and off all day, and I was like, oh, we're gonna race. So we started hot lapping and stuff, and rain hits, and Chris Mize calls me on the radio. He says, hey, we can get out of this, let's cancel. I said, I agree. So I go to the pit booth. I'm gonna tell my people, let's just give everybody their money back and let them go. And this driver cussed me out up and down because he just bought a ticket 10 minutes ago and we're going to cancel. I'm giving her money back. It doesn't matter. He just cussed me out. I'm the biggest asshole in the world. I called Chris Mize up and I said, we're racing. And Chris goes, what? I go, we're racing. He goes, are you stupid? I said, we're racing. So we're out there. My wife goes ballistic and, uses a lot of four-letter words to describe her husband, and tells me that I'm the stupidest person she's ever met in her life, but not in those exact words. So we're out there, and I'm dead serious. I'm racing just because this guy pissed me off. We're out there. We're driving the racetrack. All of a sudden, the sun comes out. I'm going, yes. I look at the time, and it's like 7:30, and there's one person in the stands, and I'm like, oh, my wife is she's standing on the sidewalk at Checkpoint Charlie with her arms crossed, and every time I go by she's just pissed. And she starts yelling at me on the radio, and she finally gets done. I called Chris Mize. I went by here. Chris Mize, he goes, yep. And I go, I am one lightning strike away from being a happy man. Thank God. She didn't get struck by lightning, but it did rain 2 minutes later, and I hurried up and canceled because this is going to be the biggest loss we ever had. Right. And like Doug said, it's, us three did everything together. We ate dinner together, went shopping together. We hung out on races when we did weekends. We didn't race. We hung out in the winter. We did a lot together. So I know it was tough when we lost Bev. Obviously on my end, but it was equally, if not harder, on Doug because him and Bev were really close.
Speaking of Chris Mize, John's got a question for you guys, and I'm sure there's got to be a lot of these. But what is your guys' favorite Chris Mize story to tell?
I got so many. And half of them I can't even say.
Break the ice, Doug. Go for
it. There's no good ones. They're all good. They're all fabulous, but there's nothing I know that I think I can say out loud.
Well, I'll start with one of them.
You got one?
Yeah. So he just gets in the tower. He's up there, and it's like maybe his first year or whatever it is, and Kevin's son Kevy is racing, and if you're up in the tower, he usually sat out in the open part of the tower. Then there was a small window, and then there was two scorers and person running the computer and the announcer. And Kevy caused a crash. And we all start looking at that window, and he he's sitting there thinking, and he's like, you know how he goes,
Uh-huh.
okay. And he he looks over, and we're all staring at him, going, "What are you gonna do?" He goes, a lot of expletives. Turn around! Don't even look at me. So he had to call it on Kevy, knowing that Kevin's going to call up there. And the other one was when Kevin's down in turn 4, and he starts calling the race from down there. He takes his radio. You want to call it down there? You just go ahead and call it down there. I'll just sit up here.
But the whole thing was I was right.
You were.
Here's my favorite fun story in Chris Mize, who were very close. Kevin, when my wife got sick, Chris kind of took my son underneath his wings and really took care of him. So Kev's in an accident with another modified driver, and it was no big deal. It was just a bump, and Chris comes down, and Kev gets out of the car, walks down, driver shakes his hand, says, "Hey," because he was a rookie. He said, "Great job." And the rookie said, "Hey, sorry I got into it." Kev's like, "I don't care. It's just racing. Don't worry about it." Mize goes down into my kid's pit and just starts screaming, "You gonna take that from him? What? Why would you take that? You should have let him go by and stopped him." And I'm like, "Chris, shut up. Don't tell him that." The next week we're in a race. This guy hit my kid all the way down the backstretch. My kid comes out of 2, hits him. My kid floors it. Ships him all the way over turn 3 wall, or turn 3 into the tire wall and everything over there. We go red. I go down there because I'm thoroughly mad at my kid. I go down there, and here comes Chris, and he's walking with his head down, and he looks up to me. He goes, "Don't say it." He goes, "I know it's my fault." I said, "You're damn right, it's your fault."
I've only seen him speechless once. And he was on this driver about doing stuff, and the kid did it again. And after the race, he goes, "I want to see you up in the tower." So the kid comes up in the tower, and Chris turns to him and he goes, "Listen, I told you I didn't want you to do that. You did it again." He says, "What are you, stupid or what?" And the kid goes, "Yeah." Chris just stops. And he looks at me. I just go back to doing what I'm doing, but he did not know how to respond to that.
And that's the other thing that Rich Lucius did a great job for me, and we became pretty good friends, and he did a great job. But when Chris worked for me, it wasn't even about that he was good at what he did. It had nothing to do with that. It's that we were together every day. Every day Chris was at the office, and we were either making fun of each other, but we had like a brotherly relationship where we had a love-hate deal. I would praise him over certain things, and then we'd open up Saturday, and he'd just make me mad, and we'd start fighting. But losing that was tough. I don't know how Deb goes through it on a daily basis, but I still miss him. I'm mad at him. I'm still mad. And that's probably never going to go away. But it's losing somebody that you're with. And I lost 2. I lost Chris, and then Doug had to move back to wherever the hell he lives in, some place in Toronto. I don't know if he meant Canada or Ohio, but losing both the guys that I relied on so much for just advice or just to listen to me bitch about something, losing both those at the track was rough. It was really rough, and it took a lot out of me, and I did what I had to do because there wasn't it wasn't that, like Doug said before, we didn't sell the place because of money. We would have figured it out. We always have. we sold it because I'm tired of doing it and tired of stressing out over how we're going to do it. But I'm fortunate that I still got Doug. And we talk every day about something, or at least once a week, but it's tough. And I like I said, it's hard. Rod's going to be at the top of my list of a lot of areas when I talk about drivers down the road. Just because he's in that upper echelon of people that I just really enjoyed meeting, and doing this with. So it's, I appreciate you guys letting me be on and reminisce. And, like I said, I promise you April 1st, this is going to be a disaster for me. I'm not going to know what the hell to do.
Right.
Well, Ron, we haven't let you speak too much, and you've got some history at Sandusky Speedway. I know a lot of it is in the hangover, but I didn't know you had other stuff that went on.
Back in the late 60s and early 70s.
Before these guys.
I was running, I had a pavement late model, Toledo Flat Rock Regiment, and end of the season, I mean, you had to go to the cavalcade. That was a special deal. Harold Cook and I took our cars over and just had a great time. A friend of ours had a cottage right on the lake, which was really close to the racetrack. So, there may be a few beers and Lord knows what else, but had a great time at the cavalcade. I wound up got transferred to the upstate New York area and came back in the early 80s, and that's when I fell back in love with the hangover race. Won a few of those and had some great times. And amazingly, of all the hangover races, and I think there were, 24, 25 of them that I ran, probably the most memorable one is last year's, not just because it was the last race of the last hangover race ever run, but pulling out on the racetrack, my power steering quit. And that car with the sideboard is just an absolute beast. And I'm rolling around on the parade laps, holding onto the right side of the steering wheel because the car wants to dive into the pits, thinking, I can't do this. This is stupid. I'm going to pull off. And Flagman gave us the one to go. So I said, all right, I'll run a couple laps, and hung on and wound up winning it. My arms were so dead at the end of the race. Typically we stop on the front stretch and do a little interview, and I drove right on past and went into the pits and just fell out of the car. Going home, my arms were knotting up, my back was knotting up, my legs were going into spasm, but definitely the most memorable of all the hangovers, even if it wouldn't have been the last one.
Gotcha. Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but my very first race as a car owner was at Sandusky Speedway.
Oh,
when
wow.
I bought one of the bombers back then at the time in 2012, I think it was.
Yeah.
I got it in the fall after the race season, and I'm like, I'm going to run the hangover race on January 1st in 2013, I think it was. And that was my first time in my own car on a track. I didn't win, but I had fun. Had to dodge the snowballs.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
But yeah, and I think my worst, most memorable, though, it's my most memorable, but worst at the same time, was a few years ago at the hangover race when it rained.
That was a horrible day,
It was
Scott.
just above freezing, but it poured. So, and I think Chris was trying to hurry the show because it was flooding, and I just remember it took me like 3 hours after we were done to get warm. I've never been that cold in my life, just because I was soaked
my
to the
truck
bone.
had heated seats, and boy, did I enjoy those.
Yeah,
I told Chris on the radio, and I said, you have 20 minutes before we're underwater. And he got it done in about 19. And we went back out there 11 minutes later, and you couldn't find a corner.
That was crazy. I mean, there's a lot of great memories.
Well, the pond at 3 and 4 just a couple of years ago was interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, guys, I appreciate the time and all the memories there. And is there what's the best way for people to stay connected for these reunion things or whatever else is going to go on here in the future?
Well, let me kind of address one of the questions in there as to what this guy's going to do with the property. We don't know answer. We don't know that answer, but I can tell you he did not ask for SanduskySpeedway.com. He did not ask for the Facebook. He did not ask for the phone number. So he's going to go in a whole different direction or whatever. So we have all that. So if you watch the Facebook page, which you can still message and do that, the phone number's still the same because Kevin has that number. And our website, like I said, is going to be kind of a little bit interactive, so we can post stuff on there as well.
Yeah, the phone number stayed the same. It's 419-625-4084. And we also kept a graphic shop, so we just changed the name of it to Speedway Graphics and Trophies. We're doing a lot of lettering right now, so that keeps us busy, and that was a good business we started when we bought the racetrack, so it's turned into something special. But
I know there's a different location for that. Why don't you do a shameless plug for Speedway Graphics?
Speedway Graphics is located in Huron, Ohio, which is 3011 Booze Road. It's actually my house, but we have 2 shops on the property. We do anything. We make signs. We letter race cars. We do wraps. Chris Nicastro, if you guys don't know him, probably one of the most talented designers out there. And he's been with me 18 years. But just feel free to give us a call. We'd be glad to letter anything for you.
Very cool. Now, do people think that you're in regular contact with the Thorsons, the family that bought the track?
Yeah, a lot of people do. I'm just being totally honest. I talked to Duke Thorson the day he bought the racetrack, and I have not spoke to him since.
Okay.
That's the only time I've ever spoke to Duke. I like Duke. He's a good dude.
You might break the silence. A lot of people want to know.
Duke is a very smart business person. He's a very smart man. You don't lose money. If he does do something, it'll probably be special and big. But I just don't see it. I'm not, and I would never speak for him. I'm just telling you, everything he's ever done in life, he makes money. He's very smart.
Well, fingers crossed that somehow we'll have the Hangover race back once again, and everything else someday there at it, if not at Sandusky Speedway, at that track formerly known as Sandusky Speedway.
Right.
There you go.
Kevin Jaycox, good luck and everything in your future there. And now that you got that monkey off your back, or the burden, I should say. I don't know if it was a monkey. That'd be kind of weird, but. And Doug, what are you doing to stay busy now?
You going to find a racetrack to announce?
Yeah, I might need some help announcing out at Oakshade.
I am retired.
Just point to the dirt cars and the numbers on them. That's all you got to do.
Right, there you go. That's how I was taught.
You're retired, you say?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
So
Well,
still doing stuff in the background. By the way, he didn't mention this, but the Speedway Graphics Shop does have a website, Speedway Graphics and Trophies.com, and they also have a website or a Facebook page.
there you
Thanks,
go.
Doug.
Speedway Graphics and Trophies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
I believe I
Ron,
saw that.
last, thank you for all the support over the years. Always been one of my favorite people. Love you, and thank you again.
That means a whole lot.
Do you guys need to get a room?
We
Stuff it,
always
Scott.
hugged once a year. Missed that
Stuff
hug
it,
this year,
Scott.
but, it's okay. I got the memories.
Doug could get a picture of it.
Right, I'll be your photographer.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, buddy.
Always a pleasure talking to you guys. Definitely keep in touch and in the future here.
All right.
Thank you.
And if you hear anything, you know our numbers.
There you go. Yes.
Got it.
Absolutely. I tell you, we'll be the last ones to know.
All right, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
There you go. Doug Dock and Kevin Jaycox of the Speedway formerly known as Sandusky Speedway. I guess it's still technically Sandusky Speedway. until we hear differently from the Thorson family there of Thor Sport.
Yeah.
That took care of that. Very cool. It was enjoyable.
It was.
Yeah. We still got some stuff to do. We have.
Would have been
how
cool
many
if Larry had been able to chime in and talk about the early days.
Earlier day, yeah, the pre-Kevin days, yeah.
Right.
Maybe we can do that in a future show. Turn heads with not to compete head. Let's we're going to come back to that one.
Another graphics one.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Nope, don't do that.
I learned when I used to do commercials schedule. I used to work in traffic. They called it in radio,
Right.
which
Yep.
is not actually like we got a wreck on the I-475. Traffic is actually scheduling the commercials during the broadcast day or whatever. And we were told you never put two car dealerships back to back. If you do have to have them in the same break, you separate them, one at the beginning, one at the end, and have stuff in between. You don't ever put them back to back. So I'm applying that thinking here. Dippin' Motorsports delivers the performance parts racers need when they need them. From the shop to the racetrack, they keep you moving with everything from complete motors and carburetors to race-ready cars and dirt trucks. Backed by expert advice and proven high-quality components, Dippin' Motorsports helps keep you competitive and chasing wins. Don't wait until race day to find the right parts on your next motor. Call 419-283-8580 or visit DippinMotorsports.com. Dippin' Motorsports, your trackside advantage. We'll save that other one for right here. And we got some news to get to before we do our
Really?
How Many. We had a couple people jump on last week, Conover Motorsports, for giveaways for last week's How Many, because we're kind of between How Many sponsors. So we'll
And
announce
the
who
Ottawa
won that.
Lake Bull Ring.
And the Ottawa Lake Bull Ring sticker as well. So yeah, let's do some news here. There's some interesting news bits here.
Latest racing news.
Locally, or at least in our neck of the woods, Butler Motor Speedway released its schedule on Saturday. Their season starts on May 2nd and concludes September 19th. Along with the many regular four-class nights, the Great Lakes Traditional Sprints, the Super Sprints, All-Star Circuit of Champions, High Limit Racing Series, USAC Sprints, IRA Sprints, Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series, and the Dirt Car Summer Nationals are all on the schedule for Butler there. For more information, you can visit Butler Motor Speedway's website or follow them on social media. They have the graphic posted there. Wayne County Speedway also released their schedule. Their season's going to start on April 4th and conclude on September 25th and 6th. With many regular shows scheduled, the All-Star Circuit of Champions, Ohio Valley Sprint Car Association, World of Outlaw Late Models, and Dirt Car Summer Nationals are all on the schedule. For more information, you can visit Wayne County Speedway's website or follow them on social
Boy, with
media.
all the weather we've been having, Scott, with Attica opening mid-March and Wayne County opening early April, I wonder if the snow is going to be gone.
Oh, yeah, we're done. After this weekend, winter's over.
Buddy. It's going to be a couple weeks before we get back anywhere near 30 degrees.
Officials with the I learned something on my new car. It's got summer tires, sports. I've always had all-weather tires.
Right.
I didn't really think tires were really that big a difference. I think it was Monday this week. It was cold. It was like 20 degrees.
Right.
And I was like, the pavement's dry. I'm going to drive my new car to work. And pulled out onto Alexis Road and back end slid. It was like driving on ice. And I did some research. I was like, oh, yeah, I need to below 40, 45 degrees. The tires get really hard. And they're like, it almost reminded me of like when you're a kid and you have a big wheel. And that plastic wheel, when you try and get traction, just spins. That's what I have. I got big wheels on my
Going out for hot laps after they've just watered the track.
Exactly. So I've been driving the truck all week. But anyway, officials with the Great Lakes Super Sprints, the GLSS, have announced American Racer as their official tire provider for the 2026 season. Speaking of tires, it concludes a 10-year relationship with Hoosier Racing Tire. Beginning in 2026, the GLS competition will require American Racer tires on the rear of the car. The approved tires are the American Racer SD38 in 28.5, 29, or 30 for the left rear, and American Racer MC3 on the right rear. Teams may run any tire brand on the front axle. To assist teams with the transition, GLSS will implement a burn-off period Hoosier medium right rears will be permitted for the first 4 races, while remaining Hoosier left rear tires will be allowed for the first 8 races. GLSS will continue to use the 2025 tire rule for its co-sanctioned events with the USCS at I-75 Raceway on April 10th and 11th, allowing Hoosier medium right rears and Hoosier left rear tires. With this change, the Great Lakes Traditional Sprints and the Great Lakes Lightning Sprints divisions will operate under an open tire rule, allowing teams to compete on American Racer or any other tire brand of their choice.
Kind of ties in with what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago.
Tires are they're big news. They seem to be a lot of big news recently.
Yeah.
More so than they should be, I think. FS1 will broadcast 6 high-limit racing events on television this season, and increase from just 1 last year, thanks to an expanded partnership with Flow Sports. And this is something we can talk to Dustin Jarrett about next week when we have him on from Flow Sports. The sprint car races will take place at Vado Speedway Park, Eagle Raceway, Grandview Speedway, Red Cedar Speedway, and Eldora Speedway and Kokomo Speedway. And then this is something I sent to you that I've been seeing going around here. We talked about this a few years ago, too, for, I think it was down in, or no, maybe it was last year, for North Carolina passed this. The Right to Race bill. It aims to protect racetracks from noise-related lawsuits. The legislation is being pushed in various states to ensure that established racetracks can continue hosting events without the threat of legal challenges from nearby developments. Supporters argue that these bills provide stability for local motorsports venues, helping to sustain jobs and the motorsports community. 4 states are already on board with newly introduced bills. Ohio, Indiana, Kansas, and Oklahoma. North Carolina and Iowa enacted the same law last year, so it was last year. Where basically, if you have a track and they start building houses around you, then
shame on them.
The track was there first, so
it.
it has priority. Unless I don't know what the
what the caveat is.
Yeah, what the caveat is if the track goes dark for however long, whatever that period is, and then they lose that coverage, I guess, from legal challenges. But interesting stuff there.
Yeah.
Casey Jedzerjek, which Kevin kind of touched on earlier tonight. He kind of let the cat out of the bag here. He's going to be the new driver of the Bill Rose Racing number 6 in 2026. The 21-year-old has teamed with the longtime racer for his rookie World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series season. Jedzerjek and Rose plan to join forces. Or their plan to join forces materialized quickly after the two connected at the Rumble in Fort Wayne last month. Jedzerjek spent the last 2+ years honing his talents aboard the Ed Neumeister number 11N, picking up 11 wins, including his first All-Star Circuit of Champions triumph at Wayne County Speedway. The LaGrange, Ohio native also sat on the pole of the Kings Royal last July at Eldora Speedway. 2 months later, he notched his first career World of Outlaws top 5 at Millstream Speedway.
Yeah.
So good luck to Casey.
Good racer, and it was fun following him last year.
And talking to him, too. So, if you're interested in that, check out that episode of the show from, was it last fall or last summer? Sometime in the second half of last year. 3 NASCAR icons will be inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame Friday evening at the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte, North Carolina. Drivers Kurt Busch and Harry Gant from the modern era ballot, in addition to Ray Hendrick from the Pioneer ballot, will be enshrined. Humpy Wheeler, I love his name, Humpy. Yeah. Former president and general manager at Charlotte Motor Speedway, joins the trio as the recipient for the Landmark Award for outstanding contributions to the sport. The NASCAR channel will exclusively broadcast the event. Coverage on the NASCAR channel will begin with the red carpet starting at 4:45 p.m. And again, is tomorrow. Haley Deegan is going to be returning to Bill McAnally. I can never say his name.
McAnally.
Thank you. McAnally Racing to vie for the ARCA Menard Series West title aboard the number 16 Chevrolet SS. The 2026 season marks the second tour of duty for Deegan there with BMR, as she ran 2 ARCA Menard Series West seasons in 2018 and 2019. That's when she tallied 3 victories along with 13 top 5s and 23 top 10 finishes in 28 races. I think that's when we talked to her shortly after her success early there. So, and that is your racing news. That's all I got. So there you go. Now let's mention DCR Graphics. And also, if you haven't already, hashtag DCR, put that in the comments of the Facebook Live, YouTube Live. We're going to do that drawing here shortly. There it is. Right there. Hashtag DCR. All you got to do is type that in. If you already did it, you're good. You get a chance to win a Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker courtesy of DCR Graphics. You can turn heads with wraps and decals from DCR Graphics. Full wraps start at just $425. They can even put it on for you. Schedule an installation for a small additional charge. If you're looking to promote your brand or race team, you can get 8 custom diecasts for just $135. He's got them available for late model sprints, modifieds, and stocks. They also offer crew gear such as T-shirts, hoodies, flags, and hats. DCR Graphics makes sure your whole team looks sharp at the track. And don't forget to grab your Hammer Down Racing Report sticker for just $5 if you don't win. And again, slap it on your car. Become part of the Hammer Down Army. Visit DCRgraphics.com or call 419-308-9523 to place your order today. DCR Graphics, where speed meets style. And finally, if you have a great... Never mind. Yeah, we're going to be done. We're done with commercials.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not going to talk about
the podcast thing?
Podcast?
No. If you,
I was just thinking if it doesn't have to be motorsports related.
Oh, no.
I was thinking the Hammer Down studio has a fully equipped kitchen. If somebody wanted to do a...
That's funny you should mention that, because I was talking to Craig Dittman last night, and he was talking, we were getting ready to leave, and we were talking about where to get something to eat. Yeah. And he's going on about all these places. I'm like, man, you should do a podcast, racing and food or something, you know?
Well, and if somebody wants to do a cooking show, I'm sure that the Hammer Down studio could be adapted.
Yeah.
It'd take a little bit, but I know the studio crew is pretty creative.
All right. If you have a great idea for a new podcast but don't know where to start, let Hammer Down Podcasting Services take the wheel. From studio rental to audio and video editing, hosting, publishing, branding, and even coaching, we provide everything you need to launch, grow, and manage your podcast like a pro. Whether you're starting from scratch or looking to level up your production, we've got the gear and the guidance to bring your show to life. Go to hammerdownracingreport.com, click on Podcasting Services for more information there. And while you're at the hammerdownracingreport.com, you can click on the Hammer Down Army, get more information on that, and see everybody who's enlisted there. Let's, you know what? We do have, I had a Hammer Down
hotline.
And
just when you wanted to pull the plug.
Yeah, but the problem was I got so busy at work today. Our websites got hacked, and I got home late, so I didn't have a chance to pull it. So let me, we'll pull it right here. I think it was a text. Oh, we got a couple texts here.
Oh boy!
All right, so I don't have the picture, so
bear with us while Scott proofreads it to make sure it's acceptable.
I'm trying to see. I don't think we read this one, did we?
I don't think so.
There's like 2 of them here. All right, so actually we got a couple. Oh, this one's an image. Well, these are Sandusky Speedway. We're going to stop it. Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll bring those up here. All right, so anyway, the Hammer Down hotline, which we were trying to kill, it just
keeps living.
It's like the Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going and going and going. There it is, 419-318-3081. Feel free to call or text at any time, day or night. We did get a couple of texts here the past week. So the first one, let's do this one. We're just going to read it. I remember during the ARCA Tire War, Hoosier was faster for qualifying and Goodyear was better for the race long run. I could see a similar situation on dirt with different tires for qualifying, heats, and the feature if there were no rules, unless you have to declare what tire you will be running.
I would think
that would be expensive from a racer's perspective. I would think you'd
have to race what you qualified on.
I agree with that. It'd keep costs down too, because if the rich people, the racers with deeper pockets would be able to, do that a lot easier. So
the ones with a high limit credit card.
Yes. And then the second part of the text from the same person here is, "Don't kill me. I want to live." Hammer Down hotline. So thank you for that. Let me see if there's a way I can bring these up without showing everybody's numbers on here. Here's a few photos from my stop at Sandusky Speedway during the cavalcade to get some T-shirts and to thank Kevin Jaycox for everything. Oh, so we can do it this way. All right, let's we'll share some of the pictures here. Can I scroll through them? Nope, apparently not. We're going to have to do one at a time. So here we go. Here's some of the pictures from Sandusky Speedway. It's this one. Yep, okay. So we got that.
That one's usually underwater when
we get there.
For the hangover
yeah, I'm not
race.
used to seeing grass when we're there. Okay, so let's check out the next one here. This would be inside. I've never seen that closed up and looking so dry, like you said. Let's share that so people can see what I'm talking about. This garage door to the left, I believe that's going out toward the track, right? And then to the right is
down the hallway. Yeah,
down to the pits. Am I looking at that right, or am I looking at the wrong way? Or are we looking northbound?
I think where the light is on the right of the picture.
Oh wait, no, you're right. That'd be to the track because I see the seats coming down there.
Yep.
So I'm thinking I'm at the opposite end.
Yep.
That's the bar area.
Yeah,
right
it
there.
is.
Okay, that's what that is. All right, let's check out the next one. Oh wait, this one had a caption. Stevie's Place. Oh, that was okay. That was the last one. Stevie's Place, aka the Turn 4 Lounge. And then we have this one. Some of the
memorial for Bev Jaycox.
And some T-shirts there in the background. Yeah. Very cool. And I think we just got one more here. Nope, two more. Is that Kevin? I know nobody can see what I'm looking at right now, but is that Kevin?
I can't tell you.
Well, here's maybe you guys can help. There's that. It's probably going to be real small on your screen there, too, so you probably can't see it. And then one more photo here. That's from, this was from the last night, I believe.
Right.
That would have been the very last race at Sandusky Speedway. October 4th and 5th, the cavalcade. So there you go. Some historic pictures of Sandusky Speedway from the Hammerdown Hotline. Again, 419-318-3081. Call or text anytime, day or night.
Yeah. And keep annoying Scott. Make sure you call or text.
I like the ones where they give you crap and they're like, this one's for Ron. And
hey, they know better.
How many?
Last week's How Many was, we were going to kind of put How Many on hold for a little bit, but we had some sponsors step up, at least for last week. So we're not going to do one for this week.
Okay.
We're going to keep it on hold. But last week, we had the Chili Bowl flip count.
Right.
What was going to be the final flip count there. That ended up being 83, according to producer Dave. I had to ask because I wasn't able to pay attention during the final race of the night. You said 46 for some reason. So I went 47 because that was easy. So I'll take the easy win there. But Doug Frost was closest. He picked 81, actually. So he was just
guess.
2 off. Yeah, Doug Frost, congratulations. You got yourself a Conover Racing T-shirt plus an Ottawa Lake Bullring sticker. That's the go-kart track up there just across the border.
Yep.
Within go-kart driving distance from the studio here.
Close.
Dave Gumby drove his go-kart from his...
Probably hear him on a good night.
It'd have to be a real good night. Conditions would be just perfect. But, I'll have to get back with you on with the Conover Racing T-shirt to get with the Conovers there to get that to you. And for the sticker, you got to go to Ron Miller Race Cars.
Yep.
Pick that up within 30 days. Congratulations.
And those Ottawa Lake Bullring stickers are really, really cool.
Which I have not seen yet because Ron left them on the counter.
Yeah.
Forgot to bring them over.
I left them on the counter.
Well, just bring one over so we have one to show at least next week. Let's see what action's going on this weekend, where most likely it's going to be a lot warmer than where you're at.
This weekend's racing menu.
2 of the 3 are out of the country, so that's good.
That'll help.
Premier Speedway, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's got the Sprint Car Classic featuring sprint cars and super rods all 3 days.
No, I'm not sure what the super rods are, Scott.
They're rods, but they're super.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Oh, Lord.
That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Murray Bridge Speedway also in action in Australia with MMS race night featuring wingless sprints, V6 sprints, and street stocks. That's going to be Saturday and Saturday only. And then World of Outlaws late model series. They're down in Florida, getting things going there tonight, as a matter of fact, for the Sunshine Nationals. It is race season.
It is.
Yeah, they'll race there tonight through Saturday. So some World of Outlaws action getting going, and that is it
and
for
what track are they at?
Volusia, I believe. Yeah, Volusia Speedway Park in De Leon Springs, Florida.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know what the temperature is there, but
just a little ways west of Daytona.
Okay, yeah. It's a pretty big track, too, as I recall, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. I'll have to go and watch some here as soon as we sign off. But, yeah, that's it. Hashtag DCR. Do that right now if you haven't. We're going to do that drawing here and get on out of here. I was going to say something, totally forgot what it was. So we'll just go ahead and do that drawing. You got a 1 in 13 chance tonight to win the Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker, one of these bad boys. So we'll put that up on the screen. Chris Madden won at Volusia here, according to Dave. Thanks for the update. I gave him 5 of them to cover the next 4 weeks for you guys.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. For the DCR or the Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker, courtesy of DCR Graphics. And we are spinning the wheel. See a lot of familiar names in there. A lot of racing names. Nancy Schoenhauer. Schoenhauers are lucky.
Yeah.
There are a lot of winners there. Congratulations, Nancy. You got another.
Just write Nancy on there.
Nancy. This is the 22nd. So you got 30 days to pick that up from Ron Miller Race Cars. Congratulations. Yet again, and thank you for your continued support. So there you go. Thanks to producer Dave Kemmer. He does a lot of work for, especially this week, and I didn't have a lot of time to get to anything. Also got to thank our contributors, John Young, Bob Stazak. Make sure to like us on Facebook. Follow us on X at Hammer Report. Follow us on YouTube. Listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Check us out at HammerdownRacingReport.com. You can find out more about the Hammerdown Army,
right,
and the podcast services as well. And if you rate and review us, share us with your friends. That helps us out. That's what Joshua Schoenhauer says. It's rigged. I agree. I think so. You guys got something going on there. Thanks to our sponsors, Oakshade Raceway, Ron Miller Race Cars, Magic Women Entertainment, Dippin' Motorsports, Dominator Race Products, and DCR Graphics. Thanks again to our guests this week, Kevin and Doug. Next week, as we already mentioned, we'll be talking to our friend Dustin Jarrett once again, one of the commentators on Flow Racing, does a lot of the Lucas Oil late model stuff. We're going to be talking to him. Primarily, originally, the topic was going to be on the promoters not paying purses. What's going on with that? Also going to find out what's going on with Flow Racing taking ownership of the Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series. And what was the other thing we were going to talk to him about?
That was Fox Sports 1.
Oh, the FS1 stuff, broadcast,
yeah,
the partnership.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
now, Scott, I know the streaming service that you use and I use, Fox Sports 1 is there. Is Fox Sports 1 readily available to general public?
It is. I know Buckeye just had issues with they dropped a lot of they don't have ESPN or the FanDuel Sports.
Wow.
I don't know if that included FS1 or not. I'd have to look, but I know FanDuel Sports is important to me, especially for Detroit, because I watch my Red Wings on there.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was looking for the the NCAA championship football game Monday night. I was like, there's no ESPN on here. That's a problem. So I don't know. That is a good question. But yeah, FS1 it's a pretty typical sport. It used to be Fox Sports 1. Right. They just shortened it to FS1. So yeah, a lot of the NASCAR races that weren't on Fox would be on that network. Right. So it should be pretty big. Again, don't forget our Speedy sponsor question of the week. We'll mention that one more time here. The question was, what is one of the sponsors of the Great Lakes Super Sprints listed on SpeedySponsors.com? Find that out. Click on Win at the bottom of the page on SpeedySponsors.com and put your answer in and your name, and we'll draw from the correct entries to get a Speedy Sponsors sticker.
Yeah, thank you on that, Nancy. She says, be safe out there on the road this weekend. It's going to be pretty miserable.
You want a little bonus since we've gone this long anyways?
Yeah.
What's the weekend weather pit stop forecast for this weekend, Ron?
Just plain miserable. It's going to be cold. I mean, really cold.
And snowy?
And there's dueling forecasts right now, depending on which computer models they're using, but it's looking like the snow is moving north, and 6 inches is a very prevalent thought. Some models are showing 10 inches. And it's going to be very cold, so it's going to be light, fluffy snow. Our good friend Ryan Weekman says that an inch of rain at 30 degrees is about 6 inches. This will be over 10 inches if it's an inch of rain, and it'll be very light and powdery with a lot of drifting.
Because it's colder.
Yeah, buddy.
And if
and rock salt doesn't work.
And you might be able to hit up Ron Miller Race Cars for their snow removal services, right?
Yeah, right.
No? Not a thing. John says it's Channel 31 on Buckeye FS1.
Okay,
so
good.
Thanks, John, for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you, John.
Yeah. So that is going to do it. We'll see you next Thursday at 7 o'clock. That's a wrap on show number 411 of the Hammer Down Racing Report.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.